Hey everybody! Today we're going to continue our study of percents by talking about percent of change. Percent of change is just a ratio that compares a new amount to an older or an original amount. And if that amount has increased, then we have a percent of increase. And if it decreased, then we have a percent of decrease. Let's take a look at how we can find the percent of change. I'd like you to copy this down either in your notes or in your toolkit so that you have directions as we go through the following problems. All right, now that you have this copied, let's read through what we need to do. So the first thing you want to do is identify if the amount that you're looking at has increased or decreased. So did it go up or did it go down from the original amount? Okay, and then you're going to use the following formula or the following proportion. You're going to take the amount of the change, so how much it went up or how much it went down, and put that over the original amount, and then you're going to set that equal to the percent of the change over 100. So let's take a look at an example and see how we do that. Okay, the original amount is $15 and the new amount is $12. So first I'm going to say, okay, this is a decrease, okay, because it went from 15 to 12. How much did it go down? Well, 15 minus 12 is 3. So this is my amount of decrease. I'm just going to label that on this first one here so that you can kind of see where we're coming from. So that's the amount of the decrease, or the amount of the change. So I'm going to put 3 on top of my original amount, which was 15, and set that equal to, here we'll do x, sorry, that's what we're looking for, here is our x, over 100. And when I solve this proportion, I get x equals 20. So what does that mean? Well, that means that this is a 20% decrease from the original amount. There we go. And that makes sense. We went from $15 to $12. It went down. Here's another example. Again, not a story problem, we're just working with numbers first. So first things first, I see that this is a percent increase, okay, because I went from $4 to $5. How much did it go up? Well, it went from 5 to 4, which is $1. So it changed $1 over the original amount, which is 4. And we're going to set that equal to x over 100 because if you look back up here, we're looking for our percent of change on this one. And then I solve by doing 100 divided by 4 equals 25. And that tells me it was a 25% increase. I'd like you to notice too how I'm including increase or decrease on my answer. That's important. If your parents asked you if you wanted a 25% change on your allowance, it'd be really important for you to know if they were talking about a 25% increase or a 25% decrease, because they would mean very different things. So it's important that as you label your answers, you always include if it's an increase or a decrease when we're talking percent of change. Let's see what this looks like in a story problem. It says, Bill paid $20 for a new DVD 3 years ago. Yesterday, he paid $15 for a new DVD. Find the percent of change. Okay, well, let's see. 3 years ago, he paid $20. So that's our original amount. And yesterday, which is our new amount, is $15. And I can see that this was a percent decrease. I went down $5. Okay, so the amount of my change here is $5, and the original amount, that was the one that he paid 3 years ago, that's my $20, and we're looking for the percent, so I put x over 100, and when I do this, I get 5 times 100 divided by 20, x equals 25%. Now, was that a 25% increase or decrease? Well, we already decided that up at the top, so now I just need to write that down here. 25% decrease. If you feel like you're ready to try one on your own, pause the video, give it a shot, and then tune back in to see how you did. If not, follow through this example with me as we go. All right, the cost of a text message increases from 10 cents per message to 25 cents per message. What is the percent increase in the cost of sending a text message? Well, the first thing I'm going to do here is just identify what was my original amount and what was my new amount. So originally it was 10 cents. And my new amount is 25 cents. And it already tells us in the problem that was a percent increase. Okay, so now how much did it increase? Well, 25 cents minus 10 cents is 15 cents. Over the original amount, so what it started at was 10 cents. Okay, that's this one here. And we're trying to find our percent, so I put x over 100. And I do 0.15 times 100 divided by 0.1, and x equals 150% increase. Which makes sense, right? It went up about 1.5 times. And here's our final example. I'd like you to try this one again by yourself and then tune back in and see how you did. Last month you swam the 50-meter freestyle in 28.38 seconds. Today you swam it in 27.33 seconds. What is your percent of change? And then round to the nearest tenth of a percent if necessary. Okay, well, the original amount, or the old race time, was 28.38 seconds, and today, so our newer amount, was 27.33 seconds. Well, I see I dropped some time off my score, so this is a percent decrease. Okay, now let's figure out what amount that went down by. And I'm just going to write it out today on this one, 27.33. And it went down by 1.05 seconds. This is my amount of change. Again, I don't need to see all this work on your page, but I'm just kind of showing it out on this one because it's not a calculation you would do in your head. Okay, so the amount of change was 1.05 seconds over my original time of 28.38, and we're looking for the percent over 100. So I'm going to do 1.05 times 100 divided by 28.38. Ooh, when I get a long decimal, I see it's 3.69978, and it kind of goes on. So it tells us to round to the nearest tenth of a percent. So tenth is right here, and I'm looking to the digit next to it to decide if I round up or keep it the same, and it looks like I need to round up. So this is going to be 3.7%, and don't forget your label of decrease. All right, you dropped a little over 3% off your race time. All right, if you have any questions, talk with me about this in class. I'd like you to answer the questions that follow in the next link on Schoology, and I will see you tomorrow to do some more practice.